Welcome to the Video Corner. This is where I keep most of my old TVs and the equipment that I use them with. I have most of what I want right now, though I would like something older than this PS1, something that's like really a 2D console. And I'd love to get a VCR under here because I have some VHS tapes that I'd like to watch. I got those for free, actually. Today, though, isn't about the inputs, it's about the outputs. The actual TVs themselves. These guys are CRTs, cathode ray tubes. Not to be confused with a cathode ray dude, which I believe is a kind of telephone equipment, or YouTube, which is a video sharing website. A CRT is a vacuum chamber with a miniature particle accelerator at one end and a screen of phosphors at the other. The whole thing is an implosion risk, a high shock risk, and a radiation risk. And somehow, they used to be easier to manufacture, buy, and use than LCD panels. The way that these work is that they have a little electron gun at the back, that particle accelerator I mentioned, which shoots electrons into this screen of phosphors, which glow when struck with electrons. These two are both color displays, which means that they have a little bit of extra technology in them to make them glow with color instead of just black and white. In case this is your first ever video about tube TVs, here's the basics. As this draws an image, there's a magnetic coil at the rear here which deflects the electron beam so that it moves in a rake-like pattern across the screen, the same way that you would write on a page. To make the TVs display anything other than a white square, the intensity of the beam is varied over time as the image is drawn. This intensity is controlled by a very high-frequency signal that we call television. A TV signal is basically just one really long line, and if it weren't for some control information coded into the signal, it would be displayed as such even on one of these. Periodically, throughout the signal, the beam's intensity will be signaled to go lower than the black point, significantly lower, actually. Depending on its length, that blacker than black part of the signal can be read as either a horizontal blank, meaning that the beam just goes down one line and back to the left side, or as a vertical blank, meaning that the beam has hit the bottom of the display and needs to go all the way back to the top left corner to start a new frame. And that's basically it. There are other videos you can watch for more detail on the topic. I personally recommend the Technology Connections series on the topic, if you want an in-depth view. And there are secondary elements to the technology, like color, interlacing, TV lines, things like that, which I will be getting into in future videos, but for today, that's really everything I have to say. Just the real basics of the technology. That the beam scans across, jumping back in this sort of rake-like pattern, and that certain parts of the signal get very dark, which signals the TV to do that scanning, and sometimes to jump back up to the top of the display with the scanning position of the beam.